Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Learning Lab, where learning English is easy and fun. I am Mia.
And I am Daniel. It is so wonderful to be here today. I am very, very happy to talk to you all.
I am happy too, Daniel. You look very good today. You have a big smile.
Thank you, Mia. I have a big smile because I am thinking about the future. I am thinking about this year and our goals.
That is perfect because our topic for today is motivation. We want to help our friends who are learning English feel brave and confident.
It is a big topic, but it is a very good one. It helps us dream and make plans. I love making plans because it makes me feel excited.
Me too. Where do you see yourself this year, Daniel?
Let me think. The first thing I think about is health. I want to be very healthy this year.
That is a great goal. Health is so important. What do you see yourself doing to stay healthy?
I see myself in the park at 7 in the morning. The sun is coming up and I am walking.
Only walking, or are you running too?
Well, maybe walking fast first. Then, after 1 month, I see myself running. I want to run for 30 minutes every day.
30 minutes is a long time. Do you have running shoes for your morning routine?
Not yet. I need to buy new shoes. Maybe blue shoes. I think blue shoes make me run faster.
I see you running in the park with your blue shoes. That is a very good vision.
Thank you. And what about you, Mia? Where do you see yourself this year?
I see myself in my kitchen. There is a lot of flour and sugar on the table.
Are you making a mess, Mia?
No, well, maybe a little mess, but I am baking this year. I see myself as a great baker.
I love cake. What kind of cake do you see yourself making for your weekend activities?
I want to make a perfect chocolate cake. A big, tall chocolate cake with strawberries on top.
That sounds delicious. I can almost smell it.
I want to invite my friends every Sunday to eat cake and talk. That is where I see myself, happy in my kitchen with my friends.
That is a beautiful vision. It is about food, but it is also about friends.
Now, let's practice a conversation. Let's pretend it is Saturday morning and we are talking about our routines.
Good morning, Mia. What are you doing today?
Good morning, Daniel. I am in the kitchen. I am looking at a recipe for chocolate cake.
That sounds like a fun weekend activity. Do you have all the ingredients?
I have flour and sugar, but I need strawberries. Are you going to the store?
No, I am going to the park. I want to walk for 20 minutes.
That is a healthy routine. Will you wear your new blue shoes?
Yes, they make me feel very motivated to move.
Have a good walk, Daniel.
Thank you, Mia. Enjoy your baking.
That was a great role play. It uses many words for daily routines and weekend activities.
Yes. For A1 learners, it is good to use simple words like walk, bake, kitchen, and park.
Daniel, do you see yourself in a new place this year? Do you have travel plans?
Oh yes, definitely. I see myself at the airport. I have a big suitcase.
Where are you going?
I see myself in Italy. I want to walk in the old streets and see the beautiful buildings.
Italy is wonderful. Do you see yourself eating pasta?
Yes, pasta, pizza, and gelato. I want to sit in a small cafe and look at the people.
Will you speak Italian there?
Maybe just a little, but I will use my English too. English is very useful when you travel.
That is so true. Traveling is a great way to practice. What about my travel plans?
Do you have a plan for this year?
I do, but my plan is different. I don't see myself in a city. I see myself at the beach.
The beach. I love the ocean.
Me too. I see myself sitting under a big umbrella. I have a good book in my hand.
Is it a book in English?
Yes. I see myself reading a long story in English and understanding every word.
That is a fantastic goal. Reading a book is a great victory for an English learner.
I agree. It feels so good when you finish the last page.
So you see yourself at the beach, reading and relaxing. No, yes. For A1 learners, it is good to use simple words like walk, bake, kitchen, and park.
Daniel, do you see yourself in a new place this year? Do you have travel plans?
Oh yes, definitely. I see myself at the airport. I have a big suitcase.
Where are you going?
I see myself in Italy. I want to walk in the old streets and see the beautiful buildings.
Italy is wonderful. Do you see yourself eating pasta?
Yes, pasta, pizza, and gelato. I want to sit in a small cafe and look at the people.
Will you speak Italian there?
Maybe just a little, but I will use my English too. English is very useful when you travel.
That is so true. Traveling is a great way to practice. What about my travel plans?
Do you have a plan for this year?
I do, but my plan is different. I don't see myself in a city. I see myself at the beach.
The beach. I love the ocean.
Me too. I see myself sitting under a big umbrella. I have a good book in my hand.
Is it a book in English?
Yes, I see myself reading a long story in English and understanding every word.
That is a fantastic goal. Reading a book is a great victory for an English learner.
I agree. It feels so good when you finish the last page.
So you see yourself at the beach, reading and relaxing. No work?
Well, maybe a little work. But this year, I want to be very organized with my time.
Tell me more about that. How do you see yourself being organized?
I see myself with a beautiful notebook. Every morning, I write my to-do list.
Like 1, bake cake, and 2, go to the beach.
Yes, but also my work tasks and my English study tasks. I want to finish my work early so I can have more time for my hobbies.
That is very smart. Being organized gives you more freedom.
Let's do another role play about being organized and making plans.
Mia, you have a beautiful notebook. What are you writing?
I am writing my list for tomorrow. I want to be organized.
What is on your list?
First, I wake up and drink water. Second, I study English for 10 minutes.
10 minutes is a good start. It is a small step.
Yes. Third, I go to the garden to look at my flowers.
Do you have a garden at your house?
I have a small space behind my house. Right now, it is just grass, but I see myself planting flowers.
What color flowers?
Red flowers and yellow flowers, and maybe some tomatoes.
Tomatoes? You can make your own salad.
Yes, I see myself picking a big red tomato and eating it. It will be so fresh.
That is a very peaceful vision. Nature is so good for the soul.
I agree. It makes me feel calm.
We have talked about health, baking, travel, reading, and gardens. We have many plans.
We do, but we should give some tips to our friends. How can they stay motivated this year?
That is a good idea. My first tip is use your imagination. Close your eyes and think, what makes me happy?
That is a great tip. Tip number 2, be specific.
What does be specific mean?
It means don't just say, I want to learn English. Say, I see myself talking to a person in English at a coffee shop.
Or, I see myself watching a movie in English without subtitles.
Exactly. When the vision is clear, it is easier to achieve.
My third tip is start small. You don't need to do everything today.
Right. If you want to run, just walk for 10 minutes today. That's a start.
And the last tip, write it down. When you write your vision in a notebook, it becomes real.
I love that. I have a notebook for my baking goals. It helps me stay focused.
Good job. Now let's talk about the big one, English. Where do we see our listeners with their English this year?
I have a very clear vision for them. I see them listening to our English Learning Lab podcast and smiling.
Yes, and I see them feeling more confident every day.
I see them using new words when they talk to their friends.
And I see them not being afraid of mistakes. Remember, friends, mistakes are just part of the journey.
That is so important. I see our listeners being brave. I see them being conversation superheroes.
I see our channel growing this year. I see many new friends joining us.
Me too. I see a big community of happy English learners. That makes me very happy.
It is a beautiful vision.
We have talked about so many things today. It is a long and fun chat.
My head is full of ideas now. I want to go and buy my blue running shoes.
And I want to go and buy strawberries for my cake.
But before we continue, let's remember what we talked about.
We started with health and running in the park.
And your dream of baking a big chocolate cake for your friends.
We talked about travel to Italy and reading books at the beach.
We also talked about being organized with a notebook and your plan for a tomato garden.
And we gave tips. Use your imagination, be specific, start small, and write everything down.
Most importantly, we talked about English. We want everyone to feel confident and brave.
It is all about seeing the person you want to become and taking small steps every day.
I love that, Mia. It is so nice to remember these goals together.
It really is. I feel ready for this year now.
Me too. Let's look at some useful vocabulary from our conversation.
Goal. A goal is something you want to do in the future.
Routine. A routine is what you do every day, like waking up at 7.
Vision. A vision is a picture in your mind of your future.
Specific. Being specific means having a clear and exact plan.
These words are very helpful for A1 learners who want to talk about motivation.
Let's do one more role play using these words.
Daniel, what is your main goal for this week?
My main goal is to start a new morning routine. I want to be more specific with my time.
What is your vision for your morning?
I see myself waking up, drinking water, and writing in my notebook for 5 minutes.
That is a great start. Starting small is the best way to stay motivated.
I agree. Writing things down makes me feel organized.
You are becoming a very organized person, Daniel.
Thank you, Mia. It helps me feel brave when I practice my English, too.
That is the spirit. Every small step counts toward your big vision. We have talked about many dreams, Daniel, but now let's talk about how to make those dreams come true for our friends who are learning English.
You are right, Mia. Dreaming is the first step, but we need a plan. According to the sources, the first tip for our listeners is to use your imagination.
I love that. Imagination is like a movie in your head. You should close your eyes and think about what makes you truly happy.
For example, if you are an A1 learner, don't just think about words. Imagine yourself in a situation where you feel proud of your English.
That leads us to the second tip from the sources. Be specific.
This is very important. Instead of saying, I want to learn English, you should have a clear picture. The sources suggest imagining yourself talking to a person in English at a coffee shop.
Or you can imagine yourself watching a movie in English without any subtitles. When the vision in your head is clear, it is much easier for you to achieve your goal.
Let's practice being specific with a role play. Let's pretend I am at that coffee shop and I am using my English vision.
Hello, welcome to the Sunshine Cafe. What can I get for you today?
Hello. I would like a large coffee with milk, please.
Of course. Would you like a piece of cake with your coffee? We have chocolate cake.
Oh, chocolate cake is my favorite. Yes, please. 1 piece of chocolate cake.
That will be $5. You can sit anywhere you like.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too. See, Daniel, that was a specific vision. You used your English to get exactly what you wanted.
It felt good. It makes the goal feel real.
The sources also mention a third tip. Start small. You don't have to do everything on the first day.
That is a relief. If someone wants to start a running routine like I do, they don't need to run for an hour today. The sources say if you want to run, just walk for 10 minutes today. That is a perfect start.
It is the same with English. You don't have to read a whole book in one day. You can start by reading just one page, or even just 5 sentences.
Exactly. Small steps lead to big victories. The sources remind us that reading a book is a great victory for an English learner.
And the final tip from the sources is to write it down. When you take a pen and write your vision in a notebook, it becomes real.
I use my notebook to stay focused on my running goals. It helps me see my progress.
And I use my notebook to be organized with my time. I write my to-do list every morning so I can finish my work early and have more time for my hobbies like baking and gardening.
Speaking of gardening, I really like the vision of the garden from the sources. It's a small space with grass that turns into a place for red and yellow flowers.
And tomatoes. Don't forget the tomatoes. The sources say that nature is very good for the soul and makes us feel calm.
It's true. Having a routine in nature, like picking a fresh tomato for a salad, is a very peaceful way to live.
We want our listeners to have that same feeling of peace and confidence with their English.
Yes, we see our listeners feeling more confident every single day.
We see them using the new words they learn here when they talk to their friends.
And most importantly, we see them not being afraid of making mistakes. The sources tell us that mistakes are just part of the journey.
You shouldn't worry if you say a word wrong. You are being brave. You are becoming a conversation superhero.
I love that name, a conversation superhero. It means you are strong and you keep trying.
We want to build a big community of these happy English learners. It makes me very happy to see our channel growing.
It makes me happy too. Now, let's think about our travel plans again to practice more vocabulary. I mentioned going to Italy in the sources.
Yes, you want to see the old streets and beautiful buildings.
I also want to sit in a small cafe and look at the people while eating pasta, pizza, and gelato.
Will you use your English there?
Yes, even in Italy, English is very useful when you travel. It helps you talk to people from all over the world.
That is so true. My plan is to go to the beach with a big umbrella and an English book.
That sounds very relaxing. No work, just the ocean.
Maybe just a little work, but mostly relaxing. It is important to balance our goals with rest.
We have covered so much today. We talked about health, baking, travel, reading, and even gardening.
We shared tips like using your imagination, being specific, starting small, and writing everything down.
It's all about seeing the person you want to become and taking those small steps every day.
We believe in you, and we believe in your goals for this year.
Now, we have a question for all of you listening at home.
Yes. Where do you see yourself this year?
Tell us in the comments. Do you see yourself traveling to a new country? Do you see yourself learning a new hobby? Or do you see yourself speaking English fluently?
Please write your answer in the comments and try to write it in English. It's great practice for you.
We love reading what you have to say. It helps us feel connected to you.
If you enjoyed this long conversation, please subscribe to English Learning Lab and share this video with your family and friends who are also learning English.
It really helps us make more videos for you. Thank you so much for listening to us today. You are all amazing.
We hope you have a wonderful year full of motivation and success.
I think that's all for today.
I think so too. See you in the next video.
See you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye for now.